Austin, you're riding into Kansas Speedway this weekend. One of your better tracks where you have a win. Talk about it. Talk about your comfort level with Kansas Speedway and what it is about that track that really makes you feel that comfortable.
Yeah, Kansas is just one of those racetracks that from the first time I was there, just found myself getting around the place pretty good. Had really good speed, and ever since I've been with Toyota Racing, our Toyota Tundras have been really fast there. Feel like setup wise, Scott and all the guys have a really good setup there, and it works for me. And then other than that, I mean, I always love racetracks that are worn out, that you can move around, you can run the bottom, you can run the middle, you can run the top. I'm more of a bottom feeder, but at the same time, I mean, I'm able to move around the racetrack, make things happen, and actually won it. The first race at Kansas that we won, I actually was running the top. So it just makes it to where it kind of puts it in the driver's hands. You can really move around, a lot of maneuverability. It's just such a fun racetrack to race at. You can really race each other really hard. Tire wear's big, so really don't want to kill the right front or right rear, and it's just something that I've done really well at. And if you look at all my stats at all the racetracks where the race surface is worn out, we always seem to have really good long run Tundras. So I think a lot of it goes back to all the guys in the shop just giving me some really fast Toyota Tundras to drive.
Good deal. We're going to open the floor for questions. If you do have a question for Austin, go ahead and raise your hand. We're going to start with Claire B. Lang. Go ahead with the question, Claire.
Thank you. Can you talk, Austin, about the restarts at Kansas Speedway and how much they are like any part of Talladega, totally different track, but what are the restarts like there, and how have you learned to master them or not?
Yeah, the restarts there they're crucial. Track position's key in the truck series, and especially at a place like Kansas. If you can get out front and get the clean air, I feel like you have the advantage. So, restarts are really big. It seems like Kansas is one of those places where a guy will kind of give you the bottom sometimes, and if they do give you the bottom, sometimes you don't always want to take it, just because you could possibly get bound up on the bottom, and the grip's not as much there, especially late race restarts and stuff like that when you have laps on your tires. Seems like tire spin's really big. It seems like if you want to get to the outside of somebody and get on their right rear quarter and kind of suck them back, and get that top lane rolling. It kind of seems like that's kind of what's been best for me, and that's what's worked for me in the past. There's things that I can still do better on restarts, but that's kind of something that's worked for me in the past that has kind of gotten us, to finish up front like we have, at all these Kansas races.
What is it that you learned to figure out about Kansas? Like, did you like it right away, or did it take you a while to learn that you were good at that track, or something clicked?
I just think something about the racetrack clicked for me from the first time I went out on the track for practice. Seemed like I found pretty good speed. Just seemed like I could get around the place really well. I think the biggest thing for me that I had to learn was how to learn different lines throughout a run. Seemed like I would kind of stay on the bottom a lot and really want to wrap the bottom and stay right on that white line. And I had to kind of learn how to move up the racetrack and when to move up the racetrack. I don't want to move up too early, but at the same time, you don't want to move up too late. So I kind of think that's something that I've done fairly decent at, is especially last year with all the times that we went to Kansas, is just kind of, if the truck's not really working for us, just being able to move around, find different lines, find things that work for our Tundra, and then when we're able to come down pit road, we can adjust on it and make it better. That way I can start running the bottom again, or the middle, or the top, or whatever. So Kansas is just one of those places that you need a truck that can move all over the racetrack and run different lines, and for whatever reason I've been able to do that, especially these last couple of years.
You kind of broke up that last sentence. Run all over the track and what? Can you finish that last sentence? And what? You broke up.
I was just saying that I'm able to run kind of all over the racetrack. And I kind of think it just kind of goes back to, these last couple years, just being able to run with HRE. We have a really good setup there and a really good balance, and they haven't really changed a whole lot these past couple years. So that's been one thing that's been good for us.
Thanks a lot. Good luck at Kansas. Okay. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question is going to come from Marty Sakali. Go ahead with the question, Marty.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Austin. Thanks for taking the time, and I hope you're well. This season, Toyota's been undefeated in the Truck Series. From your perspective, what's just made TRD so good this season?
Austin, you're on mute.
Don't know how that happened. All right. Yeah, one of the things is, we obviously have more Toyota Tundras on the racetrack this year, so that obviously helps. And I just think that Toyota Racing and, TRD, just everybody back at Toyota, they're putting a lot of work into, this season. They've put a lot of work into years past, but this season it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on this year. There's a lot of things that I've been doing this year. We just got a lot of stuff going on this season, it seems like, and they're really just trying to take Toyota to the next level. And I'm glad to be a Toyota driver. And us being undefeated is cool and all, but at the same time, I want to win too. So hopefully we can put our name on there and on that list of being a Toyota driver that gets another win. And hopefully it happens at Kansas. Kansas is one of my best racetracks statistically. So, hopefully we can go there and keep that momentum rolling with Toyota, and we can finally get a win and get in that win column with all the other Toyota drivers.
Following up on that, KBM's won the last 4 races this season, especially all the 1.5 mile tracks. What's the main key going into Kansas trying to defeat them?
Just throughout the race, just being a little bit better. Just maybe being a little more aggressive on what I say on the radio to give Scott the information he needs to make the adjustments that we need to be that much better. I feel like Tundra to Tundra wise, truck to truck, I feel like we're just as good as KBM. It's just, fine tuning it that little bit at the end of the race to be that much better. There's been things that we've been, wanting to be a little bit better at, and there's things that we've touched up on that we want to improve on to give us a little more drivability in the Tundra. So, I think that's the biggest thing for us is just when it comes down to the end of the race, just being able to make that extra little adjustment that makes us that much better. That way we can go out there and outrun them.
Thanks, Austin. Good luck this weekend, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Our next question is going to come from Bob Pockris. Go ahead with the question, Bob.
Yeah, Austin, looking ahead to Darlington, are you guys thinking about the possibility that a playoff race could end up there if you don't go to Canada? And does that impact any of your preparation or thoughts of what you might want to do or try there?
I don't think it's really going to change the way we look at Darlington. We're still going to go there with, the setup we feel like confident that we can win with. Maybe after the race, if we feel like there's something that we needed to be better at that we could improve on, we'll obviously look at that. And if it's a track that we might possibly go back to, then, the debriefing might be a little more in depth to where we really talk about, if we go back here later in the year, what's the track going to be like? What's the track conditions going to potentially be like? Stuff like that, and just see what we could do to maybe be a little bit better. But Darlington's a track that we were pretty good at. Last year we needed to be a little bit better to win the race, but we felt like we were really good on the long run. We just needed to be a little better on the short run. So that's kind of one of the key things that we're going to work on this Darlington, and see where it goes. But I'd love to run Darlington again if we can. Just it's one of those fun racetracks that we get to go to.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Dustin Albino. Go with the question, Dustin.
Hey, Austin. Thanks for taking time today. Between last year and 2019, you ran 10 Xfinity races. I was curious, are there any plans this year to run any Xfinity races?
Yeah, we're planning on running a few Xfinity races. don't know the number yet. Don't really know exactly when the first one's going to be, but we are going to run here, hopefully here in the next couple months. We are planning on running a handful of them. Don't know, like I said, I don't know the number yet, but it is going to probably be out of the HRE stable, which is also awesome. I think I'm going to end up having Scott and a lot of the guys from the truck side of it coming over to the Xfinity side to help with that, which is going to be cool. Just being able to, work with the same guys. We know the lingo that we have with each other. We know how to, what we need to say on the radio to make the right changes. And I think we can run up front in the Xfinity series, and I think we can really compete and, run inside the top 10 and potentially top 5. We actually did it last year. I think it was at Kansas actually, running up front. So, we're capable of doing it, and hopefully whenever we go out there for our first race, we can run up front and have a good showing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Austin, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Our apologies for the technical difficulties to begin with, and good luck this weekend at Kansas Speedway. We'll see you there.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Good deal. Take care now.
Thanks.